Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy back with another video. So today is gonna be a different video. Today is gonna be like a story time, like my first one. I'm gonna do these probably like once every couple weeks, stuff like that. I think it'll be cool, you know, it's nothing crazy, just talking about how, you know, I get into photography. If you look at the title, it's probably gonna be like, why did I get into photography, or how did I get into it? So it's gonna be like a 10-15 minute video. This is the next day, by the way. So it's gonna be like a 10-15 minute video on how like I talk about how I got into photography, or like, you know, what I wanted to be previously and how I transferred over. So if you want to stay tuned to stay in, you know, watch the whole video. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you want to know anything else. I'm gonna do some Q&As maybe next week or the week after next. So let me know. Got some ideas coming. So if you want to tune in, you know, just watch the full video. Make sure you like, subscribe. Videos every week. I got one last week. I did a photo shoot. So if you want to check that out, you can. So stay tuned to the video. Peace. Yo, today we got a new video. We starting the video in the crib, in my room. Today we're gonna do a story time. You know, it's gonna be a series we're gonna start doing. This is, I guess, episode 1 of a story time, but it's not really an episode. It's just, you know, occasionally I'll just talk about, you know, life, or like, you know, nothing deep. It's just that, like, you know, stuff. Like, for example, it's gonna be about photography, stuff like that. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna vibe, chill. The video's not gonna be too long. But I am just gonna, you know, just talk about, it's gonna be a story time. Everyone knows what a story time. If you wanna see my video from last week, it'll be like up here somewhere. Yeah, somewhere right there. If you wanna see my video from last week, it's there. I basically did a photo shoot. That was photo shoot day 2. So yeah, that'd be cool. Check that out. It was like 10 minutes long. That was a cool little video. Kind of like a vlog, something like that. But yeah, that was cool. So as you probably already seen from the title, why did I want to be a photographer? Why did I want to go into photography? You know what I'm saying? Wow, where did this even come from, right? It all really starts back from, like, I want to say middle school, right? But previously, I didn't even want to be a photographer at all. You know, I was like, photography, I mean, it's cool. I didn't think I had the mindset. I didn't think I had the personality for that. Because, you know, photography is kind of a personality, stuff like that. It's like who you are, creativity, stuff like that. But I didn't think I had any of that. I really didn't think I had that vision either. But I was very creative at that time. But during that time, what I wanted to be was an architect. Yeah, I wanted to be an architect. And the reason why is because I would build Legos as I was younger, like Legos of buildings. And I would do it, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I wanted to be like a successful, famous architect. But then later I realized I was like, you know, like I'll basically go down the line and tell you how did the photography come in, and like why I didn't want to be an architect. So basically, going into freshman year, you know, I still wanted to be an architect, and I didn't take any classes for it yet. I just still, you know, like doing it. My dad was an architect, you know what I'm saying? He tried to get me and both of my brothers, or all 3 of my brothers, to do architecture. So it's like I didn't really want to do it, but I kind of had the feeling for it, just because, you know, building those Legos was fun to me. So I was like, you know what, why not? You know, so basically going from freshman year to sophomore year, I still want to be an architect, but then this is where I'm now starting to take classes for it. So I took one class to be in architecture. It was a CAD class, right? I'm sure most people know what CAD is, computer design, stuff like that, what architects basically do before they build the building. So I took that class, and I was basically the youngest person there. I was 16 I was 17 at the time, yeah. I think I just turned 17. It was first semester, but it was like real easy to me, and I had a bunch of 20, 30-year-olds in my class, and it was just coming easy to me. Like every week, it was every Saturday, you know, it was all easy. It was nothing hard, nothing too complicated. I mean, it was the base class, but it wasn't anything crazy, nothing like that. So, you know, it was like a 12-week process. We did the midterm, aced it, then we did the other classwork, and then we came to the final. And the final, I got like a 96, something like that. And everything was cool, you know, like, I passed it with no problem. It only took like 12 weeks. He gave us homework assignments that weren't graded. I never did any of the homeworks just because I didn't. But after that class, it's not that I didn't want to be an architect then, it's just that it didn't really excite me. Like, it was cool, you know, doing the lines and the shapes and the angles and stuff like that, creating like a foundation of the building. But it wasn't exciting. It was like cool, you know what I'm saying? Something to play around with. Cause you know, CAD is a program, you know. Got my 1 credit for that. There was always this one lady in our class, and she was like super, I'm not gonna say slow, but she just wasn't retaining the information as fast as everyone else. So we would always have to like wait another week to do the next lesson because we had to wait for her, because everyone had to go in a unit. We couldn't just wait. We couldn't just like have some people go like a head start and then, you know, like we all had to do it together. That's how the system works. So we had to, it could have been done in like 9 or 10 weeks, but we had to wait till 12 because some people didn't even show up. Like, you paid $200 or $300 for the class and don't even show up. I don't know how people do that. Nonetheless, the class was okay, right? So then after that, later on, going into, because I only took 1 class that semester. So then the next semester I took 2 classes. And this is still sophomore year. This is like the end of sophomore year, stuff like that. So I'm taking, this is my 2nd class now. And this class is basically interior design, right? Still at CCBC, but it's interior design. The class, okay, basically long story short, I did not like the class at all. I didn't like the class because not only were there was a lot of people in that class. It was like 30 plus people in that class. And most of them were like women. Not that that's a problem with it. It's just that it was like 80% women. It was like just 20% of us guys. That's how the gender ratio was. But yeah, there was a lot of people in there. Our instructor was like this oldish lady. I want to say 70s. Like, she really knew her information, of course. But the way she brought it to you, it's like, I just wanted to sleep instantly. And it was weird because as she was teaching her class, there was a lot of people on their computers, their phones, tablets, whatever the case may be. And she didn't really care that much. Like, she clearly saw it. Like, me personally, I was on Netflix the whole time because the class, to me, basically interior design, it's like, it's what it says. It's interior design. So furniture, you know, roofing, ceiling, flooring, stuff like that. Stuff you put inside your house. That's basically what interior design is. It was cool, of course, like, you know, designing stuff like that, you know, knowing where things go where, like, that was cool to me. It's all about creativity. I'm very creative, and that's where the photography comes, but I'm gonna get to that point. Basically, the first week comes around in her class, and, you know, everyone's there. You know, I'm sitting in, like, the corner front. So I'm not front and center, but I'm, like, in the corner, like, left corner up area, right? I'm listening, like, the first day, like, obviously I wasn't on my phone. I was listening. That's probably what most people were doing. Usually, if the first class is boring, I'm like, okay, it probably takes some time to warm up. It probably takes some time to, you know, get into the groove, and then it'll feel more comfortable, be more exciting, you know, especially when we do group projects, stuff like that. Yeah. That was not the case at all. It was boring, and I'll forever say this, but a teacher can teach a boring subject, but if the teacher's like entertaining in the way they deliver it, it can be the best class. So it all depends on the teacher. The teacher was extremely boring. I just couldn't do it. After 1 week goes by, then 2, 3, 4 eventually goes by. So it's about a month now we're in this class. Like the summertime right now, and it's the same, you know what I'm saying? And so I slowly start sitting in the front, and then each week I start, you know, bringing my seat back and back and back, because like it's too much information to retain. It was like that full 4 hours. Yeah, we were in there for 4 hours. That full 4 hours that we were in there, it was just straight lectures, information, knowledge. I was just like, I can't, this is too much. So, and that's how most people were. Like I said, I was the youngest one in the class. There was a lot of adults. The majority were 30 plus people, you know, in age. So I was always the youngest one, and glad that I wasn't the only one. You know, other adults even weren't really paying attention to her, because it's just hard to really pay attention to a lecture. How does this all tie to architecture? Because number one, it's one of the classes you have to take, you know, to be in architecture. And number two, the aspects that you have to do, then it's like, I was kind of second guessing myself, because I was like, you know, interior design is cool, doing this, doing that, but all this other information you have to retain that I don't really care about, but it's a lot to, like, you don't really know how much something is, or how a lot it matters until you actually do it, until you realize like, oh, you have to do this, but you got to worry about that. And this is like, I didn't know what this was. But it's like, you know, it was just like so much information that I didn't think had to be a factor. Words just being thrown around, and I was like, what, I don't even understand what's going on. And it's not that I couldn't actually sit there and learn it, but it's like, it was the will that I had to learn it. So I'm over there, I'm sitting there, it's like a month goes by, and I'm in the back seat, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the corner back seat. Why? Because that's where the charger was. So I could plug in my tablet, computer, or phone. And she made us take notes, you know, like obviously there's always going to be a final after each class. She made us take notes and stuff like that. So I took notes, you know, it's not like I just sat there and did nothing. I did take notes. I did, you know, do what I had to do. You know, just in case if there was a pop quiz or stuff like that. There was never really any pop quizzes, like, there was barely any classwork. It was just literally us sitting there for 4 hours straight. There was only one assignment we did. Oh yeah, we had to pick a Baltimore building, like a famous Baltimore building, like, you know, the Ravens Stadium, M&T Bank Stadium, the Oreo Stadium, Camden Yards, buildings like that are in Baltimore City. So I did the Ravens Stadium, you know, and like I did a little report on it and I passed it. It was cool. But that was the only interaction we had to other people, you know, because people would ask you questions about your building and stuff like that. And it was easy, you know, it was basically public speaking. And over the years, I gotten better with public speaking. Still learning, you know, as you get older, you start to mature and get better with public speaking and stuff like that. It's just sometimes it comes naturally to you. But yeah, it was cool. But that's the only interaction we really had with people. Other than that, it was just other days, 4 hours straight of straight lecturing. And I don't know what human being can just sit there and just be like, oh, you know, like this is exciting for 4 hours long. Like I can't. I'm sitting in the back for about 2 weeks now. I'm just chilling, watching Netflix. And then at one point during the class, one of the classes, she doesn't snap, but then she kind of realizes that almost every person, and because I'm sitting in the back, I can see everybody's screen. I can see what everybody's doing. Some people were doing work for like their actual job. Some people were doing classwork for another class. Some people were like actually on social media. Like it was hilarious. It's funny because she turned around, she saw everybody on their computers, but obviously because she was on the opposite end, she couldn't actually see what was on their computers. So then she snaps a little bit. She's like, oh, is anyone even listening to me? And obviously people are online, they're like, yeah, we're listening and stuff like that. But then she kind of gets the vibe that her teaching isn't really bringing people in. And just to say all this, you know, when it comes to architecture, it's like, it's a factor that made me not want to, you know, do architecture or do another class, I would say. Yeah, so I ended up leaving that class. So that was basically the last class I took for architecture. I didn't take any more. I didn't want to take any more. I told my dad I didn't want to take any more because not only did I was going to pass that interior design class, but not only did I pass the CAD class easily, it wasn't that exciting to me. The interior design class from the beginning wasn't even exciting to me. No interaction, it's just straight knowledge, and I was just losing interest in the architecture field in general. And then 3, which made me not want to go into architecture anymore. So it kind of just stopped off at 3, no more classes after that. So this is where the photography kind of sets in and kind of like, you know, comes in pretty much. Where did photography come from? So this is where the actual question is. This is where I'm about to answer it. So pretty much, it really all started in 8th grade. So my class, we went to a field trip. We went to Costa Rica, Central America. And basically, we went to this, we seen a lot of beautiful things. Basically, it was just a beautiful place, and we took many pictures. We seen a lot of gardens. We've been in the forest a couple times. We seen just a lot of beautiful plants and like wildlife and stuff like that. And I remember this one time, you know, one of the days we went to called, I think it was Cafe Brit, and basically before we went inside the building, they had like a little garden tour you could walk through and stuff like that. And so basically me and my friends, you know, with our phones and stuff like that, we just went and took videos and took pictures of the flowers and the sunset and stuff like that because it was getting closer to nighttime. For one of my friends, he was like, yo, if you think about it, like, being a photographer is a cool job. You just like travel around and go to cool places and take pictures of it and get paid to do that. And I was sitting there and I was like, yeah, this is kind of cool, like capturing, because like I told you, this is where all the creative mind comes from. Even as being an architect, you gotta be creative. So, you know, I went on my own, I tried to take pictures of the place. You know, I got some cool pictures, you know, of the flowers and stuff like that, tried to, you know, do cool ideas, stuff like that. It was actually fun. Yeah, as I moved on, I didn't really take a lot of pictures, but that in the back of my head, photography was still like an option. So, you know, and it's not just photography, I also like doing the video art too, but I'm gonna get into that. I guess my next interaction with photography that made me want to do it was, I guess it was like sophomore year. It was basically sports. And I would see like, photographers that took picture of us running track. And I would see the pictures they would come out with. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, just getting different shots and even video art. This is where video art comes in. And I see people doing, nice edits and video art of, just people doing sports like football, track, basketball, stuff like that. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. Like, that's, even though it's not photography, it's still like in the same field and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's dope. I was thinking of like ideas that I would have that would be cool. I'm always thinking like of creative stuff, and I'm always thinking ahead. Like I always think of stuff that I can do that'd be different, or like just stuff that I think that'd be cool that people will actually look at and watch. That's the main goal. So then I realized later on that my brother has a camera. So I'm like, oh, my brother has a camera. I don't have a camera of my own yet. Let me, borrow his and see how that works. Let me just get a feel for it, you know what I'm saying? And but it didn't start from just that camera. It really started from my phone. So I just started taking pictures on my phone. That's where it started. And people will say, oh, taking pictures on your phone is a little bit easier than the camera. It is, but the camera is better because once you actually upload it and edit it and stuff like that, pictures will be better quality. Picture something I see in my head and then actually capturing it on camera. It was actually pretty cool. That's another thing that got me like to wanting to do it, because it just made me excited. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it, if you do a job professionally, like most people now, the job that they have, they don't want the job, but they do it because they want money, right? They want money. But if you do a profession, later in life, and you actually enjoy doing it, then I don't consider it work. It's not really work. Work is something that you do that you have to do. You're kind of forced to do in order to move on in life. But if you're doing work, or if you're doing a profession or a job that you actually are passionate about or that you like doing, and you no one has to force you to get up and do this, then it's not work. You know what I'm saying? Work is completely different. So this is where the camera comes in. So basically, now that I get my hands in an actual camera, not mine yet, but now that I actually get my hands in an actual camera, and I start taking pictures and stuff like that, it's like, take the picture and I would look on the screen and I was like, I mean, this is cool, but the picture doesn't really look that good on the screen. And so my brother was telling me that, make sure you upload it to the computer first, then edit, do what you have to do, and then look how better it looks. When I uploaded my pictures to the computer after I got done, testing the camera, stuff like that, taking pictures of different things, like mainly toys, because that's what I was starting out with. I was like, oh wow, like the pictures are actually dope. Okay, when you take a picture with your phone and then you go and look at it in your gallery, that's the final product of like the actual resolution of the picture. Actually having an actual camera is like, that's something you need if you want to be a photographer. That's why, that's what I'm working on right now, getting my own and getting a better one and stuff like that. Would I want to do photography professionally? Yeah, I would actually. That's what I'm planning on doing now, and so this is where the YouTube comes in, because I'm not doing YouTube just for the photography. I'm doing YouTube. Well, it's one of the main reasons why. It's based around my photography and video art, but also just to create videos, with it, fun videos like that, montages, or just cool video art, of just sports and whatever the case may be. Learn from other people or do better and just learn. Basically what I'm doing now is just learning, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just starting, from a point and just keep building up. That's how it works. So yeah, I would want to do it professionally. That's the plan. Now, I created my photography Instagram literally right when I officially wanted to do photography, which I want to say it was around February of this year, 2020, or January. I think it was January, but I didn't actually create it until February. That's when I really knew that I wanted to do photography. So I think I posted my first picture February 26th. I'm gonna fact check that. I think it was 26, but that was the first picture that I posted on my photography Instagram. It was cool. Like it was exciting to me, taking pictures and uploading it, and so the people can see, what I do. People can see, my creativity and stuff like that. And also, like I said, when I take pictures and do my YouTube and video stuff like that, I don't just do it for me. I do it for like other people as well. I try to inspire other people because other people inspire me, so I would like to inspire other people as well. you know, sharing your ideas with other people is just, it's a good thing. That's what you want to do. It's something good you want to do. Help people get, you know, see how you do it, and then they can inspire them to do something bigger or something better. But to conclude it all in all, just to say that basically I've been wanting to do photography for about 5 to 6 months now, and I've been posting pictures, and I've been doing YouTube for about 2 months now. So it's all starting, you know, nothing's like years and years, you know, of history. No, they're all just starting now. But like I said, in the future I will. I've done 2. But in the future I will though, so I'm pretty excited for that. I'll definitely be doing more like story times, not just of photography. They could be of anything. Like I said, comment below if you want to see more stuff that you want to see, or if you want me to do more story times, and of what, you know what I'm saying. And if you want to keep up to date of what I'm going to upload on my Instagram, I'll put it on my story. I'll either post it. I will post when I upload the video, and I put it on my story, like, you know, information or news and stuff like that. So yeah, that was basically how I transformed to wanting to be an architect and just slowly wanting to be a photographer. But yeah, this video is long enough. You guys will probably see like 15-16 minutes worth of the, you know, content. I've been recording for like 25 minutes now, so this is probably going to be the longest video I ever had, but it's a story time, so it's understandable. But yeah, this is my first story time. It's just me literally just talking, straight talking, stuff like that. So if you enjoyed it, you know, like it, subscribe, comment if you want to see anything else. Like I said, the video every week. I'm going to have another video next week, so you know, the grind doesn't stop. And like I said, I tell people all the time to comment and make sure that if you, like I said, I read all the comments. So if you want to see something, you know, I will. And also I did I might do a Q&A, but I might do that along the lines. I might not do that right now, but like I said, I will be asking for questions on my IG store and stuff like that. So I'll put a poll on that probably, or I'll just do a question thing on that probably this week or next week, and probably have that video in like the next couple weeks. If you have any questions, you know, if you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe. Oh, I got anything else? Nope. Alright. Peace.